Here we are back again with another Williams Home Project update. February 28th, it's morning, roughly about 3 a.m. We are at Casa de Williams, and we've got a few important, but still sort of minor, sort of big, I don't know how you would call it, updates. Um, we'll just get right down to it. Most of the changes here are insulation. A lot of the electrical wiring and things, as you can see, have been put in place. Things are coming along pretty well. The stairs have been stripped down to their basic little skeletons. We're going to go with stained caps with the white faces. Hopefully that all turns out to be really well. And that's old insulation dividing the garage wall. Not a big deal, but you can see we've got naked stairs there as well. They've been tearing out quite a few of the non-essentials, I guess, to prepare for all of the new things. Fresh electrical boxes, fresh wiring, all the way up to that large window, and so on. Let's go on up and take a little peek at what we've got. These stairs, you can peekaboo down there. How about that? We like those things for now. It makes things a bit interesting. Still, all kinds of electrical has been taken care of. All of these little blue boxes everywhere, and there you can see we've actually got a hint of some insulation being installed all the way up. Lights over the sink and so forth, all through the kitchen. So we really like that a lot. And I don't know, there's not really much to say about it. Large stacks of insulation still there, waiting to be installed, and just tons of electrical work. Not really going to be very long before we end up with a complete installation. Oh, how do you like that? Installation. But yeah, this is actually looking pretty good. Pretty good up in the ceiling as I kick things around and just checking it all out. Whatever that thing is, those are all under the rest of the installation. We just don't have this section installed yet. But yeah, you can get a pretty decent feel for what it's all looking like in here now. For some reason, it just looks much larger inside as we're starting to close things in, and I really like that quite a bit. It was feeling kind of tiny, and I'm not going to say we were uncertain, but it was definitely not as I don't know, with the fireplace being removed, or should I say moved, flush mount instead of sticking out over there, and then that wall being knocked down in place of an island. It still felt, I should say at least, smaller than it was before all of those things were taken out. But again, when the drywall goes up and paint, everything, it's going to feel like it opens up even more. I'm pretty sure about that. But we're just checking it out. All kinds of insulation was installed. And this comes shortly after having passed our electrical inspection, which the electrician has done a phenomenal job. You can see some wire routing to go on up through everything as it comes down. So we really like this a lot. This is doing pretty well. Let's go take a little trip down through the hallway to see what we've got. As you can see, big old fluffy pink roll insulation just hanging out inside of the attic, and that's going to keep us nice and toasty. Hopefully not as toasty as fire might. We don't like that. Fire bad. Electrical for the stove, yada yada. And this is neat. That's actually been closed in and sealed with some kind of sealer, I would guess, type of silicone or whatever, or acrylic. I'm not sure, whatever they make that out of. But yeah, before that whole section was wide open. It just let completely down into the utility room, and so now that's properly closed and up here as well. So new codes, new awesomeness. I'm okay with that. I like those things. Anytime good stuff happens in a new way, very pleased with that. We've also got the fan with the light going into, or the ceiling of the bathroom. Just pretty average stuff. I don't know that they want that down in the drain. I really hope they dig that out. But yeah, it looks like we've sealed up anything that penetrates through the walls, especially on the ground, on the floor, and even in a few places along the wall, which we'll see later. And those things aren't really that important, but it's nice to see the level of detail that actually goes into these things. I promise that's not a spider, just so you know. Thermostat wiring and more little goopy bits. I presume that's the doorbell, blah 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 and so forth. Here we are in the master bedroom. We've seen this quite often enough, and I'm gonna be honest here, I don't remember what this room used to look like at all, but it seems to be, very cozy, I guess would be the word for that. It feels kind of cozy, sort of like it, and I just can't wait for it to all come together. This room actually feels much different than what it was like before. Even before the demolition had occurred, I don't know, it has a lot more potential than it probably did before. I don't know what that is for, but something probably goes there. Kind of curious, I don't know, because these walls are going to be flush installed with drywall, and that is quite an eyesore. It'll probably be gone sometime later, at least when they start to hang up the drywall. Somebody's going to have a holy crap, what's that? And then they'll go from there, I'm pretty sure, very sure. And if you notice, these nice brand new pieces of wood, the 2x4s that aren't as old looking as the others. You saw one there, and you can see a couple here. And yeah, those are looking pretty nice and new. Those are actually the corner pieces for the drywall to connect to. I don't know if before those corners were actually not reinforced, which is what it looks like, because you see the darker wood to your left and then to the right, and right there was just the seam of the drywall, and now it has bracing, some reinforcement. So I guess that's part of the new code, to just make sure that the walls are sturdier than before, and we like that. Any kind of improvement is always a thumbs up. It's quite a plus. More little blue boxes for electrical and the ceiling fan. That one's kind of neat. I guess that's going to screw right up in there whenever we install the thing, or rather when the contractors install it. Just FYI, I don't plan on doing much work on top of everything. We'll let those guys handle it because they're professionals and that's their job. More electrical, not really many changes going on here, just insulation and electrical. And those things are great. Looks like they've filled in that wonderful little hole with some fluffy pink stuff. It doesn't really appear that there is any in any of the others, but I don't know, maybe they're not finished yet. Let's go take a peek downstairs and see what we have. We're going to save possibly the best for last. The deck has actually come a long way. So that's still open, and I'm not exactly sure why the plumbing is crisscrossed in such an awkward way. Whatever they have to do, let them do it by all means, but I don't know. I wouldn't have done it that way, but who knows? That's their deal. More insulation around the ductwork, and okay, that's good. That little light fixture has been moved over just a bit. Appreciate that, guys. And the brand new HVAC. This thing is quite a beast. I'm pretty excited about using it for the first time. It definitely looks better than the old unit, and we've got hopes for high potential here. Not really saying that the old one was bad. I mean, it lasted the entire life of the house. This house was built in 1983, and it was trucking along just fine. So good job on the old unit. Here we are with insulation on the back wall of the shower that we have downstairs. So that's all coming together really, really as well as the ceiling of the garage. Very important. We don't want any of those cold drafts making their way up into the bedroom because, let's face it, who likes a cold, drafty bedroom? Not me. Some of you people that sleep with fans blowing on your face in the wintertime with icicles dripping off of your nose, shame on you. That's not the way we're supposed to be. It's terrible. You can do that if you want, but I like to be moderately warm, at least. I don't like to shiver. So let's go take a peek and see what else we've got. All of this is coming along pretty well. Again, it's really interesting to see the stairs opened up. You can kind of see down under the stairs that we have, which I'll actually show you. Yeah, that leads into our little access area to turn off the water main, as you can see back there. I'm hoping that they do something with this space. If not, maybe in the future we will throw a little drywall in there ourselves just to clean it up a little bit, you know, make it more of an accessible storage space. And again, we've got lots of electrical, lots of stuff going on. So let's see what we have. Oh wait, I'm not going out that door. That door is a nightmare to close. Just FYI, make a note of that. That door sucks. It needs to be, I don't know, it needs to be adjusted somehow because that's terrible. More insulation. We're just really excited about that. The insulation is a good thing. That means we're one step away from having drywall installed. I'm pretty sure that there has to be an inspection for the insulation, but you know, what do I know? I just live here. Well, I don't live here right now, but I will live here again. But for right now, we'll let the professionals handle it. They'll do what they do. Let's take a peek out back because we have a beautiful brand new deck. I haven't really showed this on film yet in video, but as you can see, we've got a gorgeous a 10 by 20 deck. And it's very, very well made. The stairs down to the landing and all the way across. We really like this a lot. Very super sturdy. It actually went up in almost no time. The only concern is this is our bathroom window, so peeping toms, perverts, whatever, don't go peeping in my window. We're gonna have to do something about that, just to take care of that, to prevent any intruders. I don't know what you want to call it. Let's step down the stairs because these stairs are phenomenal. And all the way down. It's actually pretty gorgeous. I'm not gonna lie. This is one of my favorite aspects of the house, and it was one thing that we actually debated on having done, but I'm very glad that we decided to go through with it. It's great. I really, really love it. So I think that'll actually do it for now. I'm gonna take a trip back inside, and hopefully the next time that I check back, we will have some more insulation finished, maybe even some drywall in the process of going up, and we'll go from there and see what we have. Go back inside again. All right, that'll do, pig. That'll do. We'll see you later.